are currently at the Sitges port. We have a beautiful view of the old town from here and the chapel. Up here is the Amelia, which has been the centre of all the hype this week. It's been the base. Sarah's actually stayed there as well, which is great. So we've got to experience all the frenzy and all the films there, the main theatre, which holds about 1,300 people, which is pretty incredible. It gets very hot and sweaty in there though, so that's probably not a highlight. We met a really lovely guy, Antonio, who's looked after us as well. It's been a really fun experience.
Film festival goers are extremely proud of all the production houses and all the title sequences, and especially when the Sitges King Kong comes into town, everybody like erupts.
So the biggest surprise in the festival has been that because this is particularly a genre-based festival, when there are really intense gory scenes, the whole crowd claps and cheers, and it's crazy. You feel like you're sort of in a sea of sociopaths, which is, I mean, it's a bit fun. It's an experience, but that was a bit of a shock because it happened several times, and they love it. They really love it.
I was actually a bit nervous about coming to a film festival that was going to be full of scary films because I'm easily scared. I was pleased that I survived the cocoon experience quite so well. Didn't get freaked out as opposed to the person that was sitting opposite me. And the other thing is that given there's so much splatterfest going on and so much gore and so much erupting into joy as some woman's having a neck sliced open, the people are really very friendly. So it's a very warm, collegial kind of environment. But when you're sitting in the cinema with them and hearing them cheer at what they're cheering, you think, oh my goodness, these people are really scary, but they're not. I'm going to be realistic about what one can expect to get out of a festival and go, okay, well, our film doesn't really fit into the genre proper, so it's a little bit off to the left side. So when it comes to distributors, for example, you're not going to get the XXX extreme distributors lining up to get a bit of lost soul. So it's a short film, it's largely features here, and we are on the kind of periphery of the genre. But having said that, it's a very prestigious film festival. I had no idea it was going to be quite so big, and I didn't have any idea that it would be 24 hours a day, screenings all day and night, and, you know, new people coming in, whether it's Christopher Walken or you know, all these celebrities. Now that will be jumping later on. One of the things that kind of emerged as time went on was it's a very male kind of festival, and so I was really pleased today when I saw that the Best European Film and Best Newcomer to Directing was a female who I think was Julia, and her film is called Raw, or Grave, I think it is. And so she's a French filmmaker, female filmmaker.
Le titre français c'est Grave, le titre anglais c'est Raw, et le titre espagnol en ce moment c'est Crudo. Mais il n'y a pas de grave. It was never grave. It's just that it's written the same way as in French, but it's not. There is no, because a grave is a tombstone. There is no tombstone. Okay.
So a lot of the screenings were, and a lot of the interviews and masterclasses were all kind of old white men, all power, but obviously the genre is kind of moving on.
J'ai pas envie de restreindre, c'est-à-dire que j'ai toujours un peu peur qu'on m'amène sur ces sujets, on me dit vous avez fait un film de femmes sur les femmes, je dis bah non, ça parle à tout le monde, enfin j'espère. Quand c'est un réalisateur qui fait un film avec un acteur, on lui dit pas vous êtes un homme qui a fait un film d'homme sur les hommes. Non, donc j'aime pas trop qu'on m'amène là-dedans, j'espère que c'est plus universel que ça.
I think it was special getting to see it in a cinema for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a totally different experience to getting to watch it, just on the computer. It's the way it was meant to be shown.
Yes.
Correct. So a lot more translated with it for me, which I thought was really cool.
To me, the whole reason that you shoot on anamorphic for a cinema in the scale that you do is so that it's that immersive experience. And when you're looking at a film on a mobile phone, or if you're looking at a film on a laptop, you're easily distracted by everything else. Whereas when you're in the cinema, the lights go down.
Full focus.
You've had the big excitement of seeing the gorilla bit, and then the lights go down, and you go, okay, let me come into your world, and that's the bit that makes it special. And it's the first time I've seen it on the big screen.
And getting to see it here in Spain is pretty special.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Screen Australia for helping me to come here to the festival. It was very worthwhile.
It's collective.
I hope we've all benefited, even though there isn't a film market. It is a festival, so it's not like a Cannes or whatever. Hasn't got the big film market attached. So having just a festival based, we're meeting filmmakers. It's all talking about the art, and it was very much, again with that Paul Schrader masterclass, he was sort of saying that the immersive transcendental experience of cinema meant that one of the ways it's going is more down the art.
I don't think anything we've learned in the last 100 years about movie making applies anymore. I think we are in such a profound period of change that virtually everything you've learned and everything they teach you is up for question. Well, it used to be that everybody in the movie would make a living. Now we're going to be like the other arts, and only about 5% of us will make a living.
He was saying the model's died. The horse is bolted there.
There are no more rules.
There are no more rules, and it's going to be very hard to commercialise any films. And so the big thing is have something different.
There are no commercial formulas that necessarily work anymore, and that breaking the mold is one way to stay commercially relevant. And of course, anybody who has any money, the last thing they want to do is something different.
And from my point of view, that big difference, and this was, kind of the elephant in the room, is that they're scratching their head, what can we do that's different? And I go, give females a voice. We haven't heard them. So that was my take out from that. There's a lot of excitement and opportunity, and I guess that's why Julia won, Best Newcomer, and she also won Best European Film, because it's the start of a new trend. There you go. Here's something I prepared earlier.
Tonight we're heading to the closing gala for the Sitges Film Festival. There's still one more day of 9.5-hour marathons, but we're heading in to go watch Christopher Walken accept an award, and then afterwards we're going to a bit of a soiree.
The closing gala party.